Alright, welcome back. It's day 114 of my California goldenrod growing series. It's coming along nicely. It's a lot more perky. I've been watering more frequently. As you can see, the leaves have a bit of a fuzz and they're very healthy looking. This is some amazing foliage. It is a wild sort of weed plant after all in Southern California and many other places around here, so it does very well on its own in just rain and of course no fertilization like I'm doing now. So it's day 121, a week later, and if you follow my gardening channel for the last year or so, you've probably noticed that I've been using Men's Health multivitamins crushed up. You can leave the chunks on the surface if you want, and that way when you water in the future it'll kind of disperse the nutrients over a temporal time frame rather than just all go in at once. So yeah, I'm just washing off the fertilizer and lifting up the leaves to make sure that there's no fertilizer burn, which is hard to avoid because the leaves mostly aren't long enough to exceed the radius of the pot. But day 137, 2 weeks later, 2.5 weeks, they are. So it's a good sign that everything's growing very nicely. To spin this around, it's always very hard for me to show what's going on in the watering tray, and you can see a root there. So like my other plants, it's starting to drink directly from the water that accumulates from any flow through directly, which means I can let the water tray just sit with a lot of water in it so the plant doesn't go thirsty. So it's got some stalks coming up and they're fleshy and green. No signs of bark or anything. I think that's how it is in the wild for inflorescences, although I'm not sure whether these are inflorescences or just kind of fleshy funnels of leaves. You can see a little bit of a burn there from fertilizer burn, probably from the last time. So it's day 147 and the inflorescences are longer. I'm putting some more fertilizer in there. You can see a dead leaf there actually. The last episode I was saying there are no dead leaves. You can see another sort of burn at the end of a leaf there. The very original leaves that are now obscured in darkness underneath are now starting to die. I can show you a close-up later, but you can just see the foliage is fanned out everywhere. So if I water away from the center, water just starts raining over the sides because it travels along the leaves. And I'm feeling these stalks. They're very pleasant to the touch. They feel solid. They're not hollow funnels of leaves like with ginger, as I was saying, or trying to say earlier. The foliage looks very healthy. It branched out. All the bottom foliage now exceeds the rim of the pot, so I don't have to worry about it lying on wet soil and getting fertilizer burn, although there's been a very minimal amount of that. It's getting taller and my balcony is becoming overgrown with various plants. You can see the yerba mansa right over there. It has nowhere to go. It's a real lateral land colonizer. So I'm going to water again using tap water for this because I think it's perennial actually. It forms a rhizome unlike the sweet annie, but it has a lot more growth than some of the other plants, succulents, etc. So I'm mostly watering close to the center to avoid water spilling over the sides like you're seeing right now. And I'm just watering in those two spots to get the fertilizer dissolved. And hopefully these three stalks coming out from the center will grow like stalks of corn, and this thing will really flourish and give a really showy display of flowers very soon. So if you haven't already, please look for my Facebook page. Just search for Melvin Way YouTube channel and you'll find it, or you can search in for my name on Instagram. I have some short video clips and interesting pictures of local flora and fauna. You can see a dead leaf right there. So yeah, those aren't getting any sunlight. The plant can recycle the nutrients and the leaf litter will just add nutrients back to the soil. So yeah, look for me on social media and I'll be posting shorter updates like this in the future.